Hey everybody, it's Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz, and it's Saturday. Hope you're having a terrific one so far. We're just going to look at a couple of stories today. It should be a quicker video than usual, and we're here on altcoinbuzz.io with this article courtesy of Licia. Once Santa is off, SEC delays decision on VanEck and SolidX ETF until December. So we did touch on this yesterday as the news was just coming out. It was just emerging. We have Licia's take on this in more detail here. So the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, which is of course a U.S. entity, it's an oversight body, has decided to once again delay the decision on VanEck and SolidX Bitcoin ETF. The authority explains that it needs more time to analyze the application in detail. The decision is now expected after Christmas, about the 29th of December. And don't forget, guys, that it's already been delayed once in the past. So I just don't realize or understand how they need more time. What is it that they don't understand? What is it that they've not done? The SEC's workload has been intense, both in the summer and early fall. The authority has been continuously reviewing multiple applications, including the Winklevoss brothers' new attempt to launch an ETF, which was eventually rejected. And if you need a quick recap on that, you can check out Licia's article from back in the tail end of July. Winklevoss twins ETF rejected. That happened at the same time as the MasterCard CEO was dissing cryptocurrency. And we had a little bit of a difficult market at that time as a result of that perfect storm of negative news. But if you want to check out the details of that rejection by the SEC of the Winklevoss ETF proposal, we're going to link to this article in the description below. Back to more recent news. It's important to remember, and I pointed this out yesterday, that this particular ETF, so the VanEck and SolidX ETF, is linked to the CBOE, the Chicago Board's option exchange, and they're the ones that are going to be listing the ETF if and when it's approved. So it is just my opinion, but it's my contention that if anything gets approved in this space, if there's any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency that's going to get approved first, it's this one, because it's backed by the CBOE, which certainly has a little bit more weight behind it versus some of the other ETFs that have already been rejected. And it's also worth stating again that even though this is now delayed and it's becoming almost a soap opera, it's becoming silly, hey, you know what? A delay is better than a flat out rejection. A delay means that they've been considering this and that there are strong arguments to be made for the case for the ETF. So as Licia writes, the SEC requires, quote, a longer period within which to approve the proposed rule change, disapprove the proposed rule change, or institute proceedings to determine whether to approve the proposed rule change. We pointed out yesterday that there are more than 1,400 positive comments that have been submitted. Brent Fields, SEC's secretary, further noted that, quote, the commission seeks and encourages interested persons to provide comments on the proposed rule change. Reading along here, the SEC will review only specific submissions, not randomly generated opinions, which should contain views, data, and arguments with respect to the issues identified above, as well as any other concerns they may have with the proposal. I was kind of making fun of the SEC yesterday. It seems like they're crowdsourcing the public to do their job for them, and I don't know what they've been doing for all of these months now already. So, oh yes, we're very overworked, we're very busy. Okay, fine, but I mean, is this not your job? Is this not your responsibility as a leading financial authority? This seems kind of amateur to me. And as Licia writes, even though that we've been given this date of the 29th of December, hey, who knows, that could change. That may not be the final one. The existing regulations stipulate that the SEC enjoys the right to put off the decision until the end of February if they choose to do so. Thus, if an ETF is a synonym of a bull run, then 2018 is most likely the antonym of both. Yes, perhaps that could be true. Well said. So let us know your thoughts about this. If you want to check out the specific filing that was issued, again, this is now from a couple of days ago, September 20th, 2018. This is a PDF form issued directly from the SEC. We linked to this yesterday. We're going to link to this again today. If you want to read about this in more detail, it's a little bit dry. I don't want to oversell it. It is a little bit dry, but if you want to take a look at the original documentation, there it is. We're going to link to this as well, the Winklevoss twins ETF that was rejected back earlier in the summer. I like to dabble around in Reddit. I'm not a pro of any kind, but I think that it's a good conglomeration of different, different attitudes that people have, different opinions that people have. So if you want to check out the discussion over on Reddit regarding this ETF delay, we're going to link to this page as well in the description below. Now, we've been talking a lot about XRP as well recently. XRP, according to CoinDesk here, shot up 75% during Friday's bullish trading session. So it's been doing very well, and I just want to touch on this briefly. You know, we've been going over this now for days, so there's not too much more to say. But we did see quite an interesting price yesterday. So at the moment of this recording, XRP is sitting at, what do we have here? About 58 cents. It shot up as high as 75 cents yesterday. And if you note the total market cap, we have Ethereum sitting here at about $24.5 billion. XRP, let's just say roughly speaking, is $1 billion less in terms of total market cap. But believe it or not, these two switched positions yesterday. So for a few short hours, XRP surpassed Ethereum in terms of total market cap. Like I said, XRP shot up to as much as 75 cents. It's now sitting at 58 cents, so coming off that high just a little bit. But it's been in light of all the good news that we've seen recently. And if you're not up to speed on what that news is, you can watch some of our previous videos from the last few days. We've been talking all about XRapid and other potential developments that have affected the price in a positive way. And this is just something as a bit of a palate cleanser, perhaps. I don't want to launch into this article, but we're here on news.bitcoin.com. I think this is why projects like Ripple, XRP have a future, just because of this ridiculous, shameful corruption that exists in the financial space. Danske Bank's alleged money laundering now totals $234 billion. Their CEO quits with, I'm assuming, his tail between his legs. $234 billion. And they tell us that, oh, well, you know what? Cryptocurrency, it's not quite right. There's too much corruption. There's too much fraud. It's uncertain technology. $234 billion. The investigation into Danske Bank's alleged money laundering has uncovered new funds. The amount of, quote, questionable money flowing through the bank's Estonian branch has grown from $150 billion to approximately $234 billion. In response, the CEO of Danske Bank turned in his resignation. How nice is that? There you go. Another one for the books. So for all the naysayers out there that criticize cryptocurrency, that criticize the illicit behavior, the few hackers, the few shady people in the space that tend to define all of it for those lay people that really don't know it very well, I'm basically sick of your arguments at this point. I'm sick of the media attacks. I'm sick of all these comparisons. I'm sick of being, pointed to as the inferior industry. $234 billion. Try doing that on a decentralized, open, transparent ledger. I dare you. So in my opinion, that's kind of why, holistically XRP and Ripple are doing as well as they are. We need a change, guys. This cannot go on for the rest of this century. This is old school. This is dinosaur technology, and it is rife with corruption. We got to put an end to it. We got to institute the next best thing. We got to revolutionize together. And the best way to join the revolution, follow Altcoin Buzz and Altcoin Buzz News on Twitter. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram, of course. Check out our last video here on the right, as well as our latest publications on altcoinbuzz.io. Members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, if you like this video, hey, smash that thumbs up. If you choose to invest, I wish you happy investing, but have a wonderful Saturday, a wonderful weekend. We're going to see you again soon in a new video. Take care.